competition in London is rife, but we've always had that competition. But look at during this whole pandemic, every second week we have a call with the E1. We've got an E1 group, right, which is all the hotels in the E1 postcode, just around up the Strand, coming all the way to the side. And we're all general managers on the call, and we're all facing the same challenges, And it's nice to hear what they're doing, what their challenges are, and it makes you feel that you're not alone, that you're doing these things together. And most hotels are doing a staggered approach in their reopening. So we'll be opening the next 4 weeks, focusing on first our pub, restaurant venues, because obviously that's the most vibrant part of the hotel, and we've got a lot of people coming back and knocking on the doors to be coming back, because it just has that vibe in the hotel. It creates that vibe within our outlets, but also back into the hotel, the lobby. So we'll start slowly with our Lady A, and then also with the Rex Cafe. Maybe Miyako will open up next to the takeaways and so forth. But just bring that loyal customer back to us, and just giving the staff that opportunity to interact with people again. And that's going to be the fun part of us reopening. And I think the competition will do the same, right? So they've all got a staggered approach, depending on their business conditions and where they're situated. But I know hotels opening up. Some hotels open up on the 4th of July, some opening up the end of August, and some people opening up in September. But it's great that staggered approach will be there. Us as a group of hoteliers, people within the hospitality market, we've got to stand united in our approach of the marketing of the City of London. But also we've got to support the City of London. We've got to support all businesses as well, and just do things together. Do things together. Speak one voice and make people comfortable to come back in, because each and every one of us will need each other in any which way or form. So I'm confident that the market will come back. I'm not confident of how fast. That's the challenge. But we've got to be ready to be coming back, and we've got to focus and just making sure that people are safe. And that all of us act responsibly in how we do so. So it's not about making money, it's about bringing our industry back. Just bringing the industry back, making people feel comfortable again, and just giving people experiences. That's the core part of it. So for Andaz London Liverpool Street, we're quite uniquely positioned as a location, because we've got the bustle of the city, but we also have the vibrancy of the east. So from a location point of view, for the competition, we're uniquely situated. The challenge that all hotels will be facing is what is the new norm, and how will we actually operate on the new norm. Our view is that we will focus on our people, right? So it'll be the well-being of the people, making sure that people are trained, right, and making sure that they're trained and developed, right? So the biggest part of doing this would be focusing on our Hyatt standards, right? So we've got a hygiene specialist company to assist us in putting together the hygiene standards, but also we've appointed Clifton, right, which is a risk management company that we're focusing on training, combining the higher standards with government, the UK government standards, and putting a risk assessment together based on those. Then we'll focus on retraining each and every single one of our team. We also, from a Hyatt perspective of things, is each Hyatt hotel will have appointed a hygiene leader, right? Hygiene leader or hygiene manager, which will specifically focus on monitoring the hygiene standards of every hotel with checks and rechecks and so forth. So that's a key part of it. For us to ensure that we are thriving in this very tight competitive market, is we've got to make sure that we can drive our loyal customers back into the hotel. How we do that is through our people. So if we focus on all the insecurities that people have today, and we give people sufficient training, right, to know that it is safe to be here, and we can ensure our customers and our guests know that we are safe and we're following all the protocols to the highest specification, we believe this will create enough confidence in the market for travellers to be coming back and feel safe to travel back to the City of London. From a hotel perspective of things, is that, like I said, is that if you look at a hotel, right, it is bars and restaurants. People are just staying in the room, and that is at night. right? So they're checking in, they're going up to the room, or they're going to tour the beautiful city. They come back, they check into room. But before they check into room, right, they're going to go to the bar, they're going to have a drink, they're going to have a meal, and so forth. So it's an imperative part of our business. So it is one. When it comes to communication, right, communication is key, right? So we've got to make sure that we stay in touch with our people, our teams, because our teams drive our guests, number one. And they've created that personal relationship with the guests in any way, right? So the teams are the focus point, and then our loyal customers, right? So through World of Hyatt, we are in regular communication with our guests. We are also communication through the app of World of Hyatt, and we've got regular updates on every hotel, and you can see the views of the hotels, what's happening, when it's opening, and why they're opening, and so forth. They are also in arrivals of guests making the bookings. We've got our liaisons that's actually contacting the guests, keeping them abreast of what is happening and how it's happening. As a collective of hotels, right, we've got to send a positive message out in the market, right? And it's not about Hyatt as a brand, it is us as hospitality, right? To make sure people are confident to be coming back into the city. So yes, I agree with you, communication is key. But there's no right and no wrong. Right? I think the wrong is no communication, definitely. But we've got to communicate, we've got to send a positive message out there.